Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Everyday Podcast, where we make learning English fun, simple, and easy to understand. I am Dave, your host, and here with me, as always, are my amazing co-hosts Sophia and our vocabulary expert Jim. How are you today, Sophia?
Hi, Dave. I am feeling great, thank you. Hello, everyone. I hope you are all ready for a helpful and encouraging episode. Today's topic is one that many of you may relate to, understanding English well, but feeling stuck when it is time to speak. It is something many people face, so do not worry. You are not alone.
Yes, exactly. We hear this a lot from English learners, don't we, Jim?
Absolutely, Dave. Hello to everyone listening. If you have ever felt like you can understand English but struggle to speak it, this episode is for you. Today, we will explore why this happens and share tips to help you gain the confidence to speak English more comfortably.
That is right. So let us get started. First, we are going to discuss why it can be challenging to speak English, even when you understand it well. Then, we will dive into practical tips and strategies. We hope that by the end of this episode, you will feel more confident and ready to speak English. Sounds good, Sophia?
Sounds perfect, Dave. Let's go.
All right, so why do you think speaking English can feel so challenging, even for those who understand it well?
I think one of the biggest reasons is fear. Many people are afraid of making mistakes. They do not want to sound silly or incorrect. So they understand English when they listen, but when it is their turn to speak, they feel nervous and stay quiet. Has that ever happened to you, Jim?
Yes, definitely. It is common when learning any language. Sometimes we want to be perfect when we speak. But the truth is, making mistakes is a normal part of learning. It is how we grow and improve. And remember, most people will not judge you for small mistakes.
Exactly, Jim. If you are listening to this and feel afraid to speak English, remember that nobody expects you to be perfect. You are learning, and every word you say helps you improve.
And another reason speaking can be difficult is that it is happening in real time. When you listen or read, you have time to think and understand. But when you speak, you need to find the right words quickly, and it can feel overwhelming.
That is true. Listening and reading are what we call passive skills. They are about understanding. But speaking and writing are active skills. They are about creating. It is normal to understand more than you can say at first. So if you feel this way, do not worry. It is a normal part of learning.
And as we will talk about soon, with practice, you can strengthen your speaking skills over time. It is like building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
All right, before we move on, let us check in with Jim for a quick review of some helpful vocabulary we have just used.
Thanks, Dave. Here are some key words we talked about so far. Fear. When you feel worried or afraid. Many people feel fear when they speak a new language. Mistake. An error or something that is not correct. Making mistakes is a normal part of learning. Real time. When something happens at the moment. Speaking is real time. You need to find words quickly. Passive skills. Skills where you understand but do not create, like listening and reading. Active skills. Skills where you produce or create, like speaking and writing. These words are important for understanding why speaking English can feel difficult. Now back to you, Dave.
Thank you, Jim. All right, Sophia, let us talk about how to build confidence for speaking. What is the first tip?
The first tip is simple. Practice speaking as much as you can, even if it is just a few sentences. The more you speak, the easier it becomes. It is like exercising. You get stronger each time you practice.
That is great advice, Sophia. And remember, you do not have to wait until you feel ready. Start with small steps, like introducing yourself, saying what you like to do, or talking about your day.
Yes, exactly. Another tip is to find a language exchange partner. You can meet someone who is a native English speaker, and they can help you practice. In return, you can help them learn your language. It is a great way to learn without feeling too much pressure.
And if you cannot find a partner, you can practice speaking alone. It might sound funny, but talking to yourself in English can really help. You can describe what you are doing, like, I'm washing the dishes, or I'm walking to work. It helps train your mind to think in English.
Another idea is to record yourself speaking. Then listen to it and see what you did well and what you can improve. It is a great way to track your progress.
Before we go further, let us check in with Jim again for more vocabulary. Over to you, Jim.
Of course, Dave. Here are some new words from our conversation. Practice. Doing something many times to get better at it. Speaking regularly is a great way to practice. Introduce. To tell someone your name or basic information, introducing yourself is often a first step when speaking. Language exchange partner. A person who helps you learn their language while you help them learn yours. Describe. To say what something is like or what you are doing. Record. To save your voice or image so you can listen or watch it later. These words will be useful as you practice speaking. Back to you, Dave.
Thank you, Jim. Now, one big challenge for English learners is the fear of making mistakes. Let us talk about that. Sophia, what do you think?
I think it is so important to remember that making mistakes is okay. Every mistake is a chance to learn. If you make a mistake, you can correct it and get better. Many people worry about sounding silly, but most people understand that you are learning, and they are often patient.
Yeah, right. That is a great point, Sophia. In fact, many native speakers appreciate when someone tries to speak their language. They know it takes courage, and they usually want to help.
Absolutely. It helps to focus on the goal of communication, not on being perfect. Even if your sentence is not perfect, if the other person understands you, then you succeeded.
And you can also try thinking of mistakes as steps to improve. Imagine each mistake as a stepping stone that gets you closer to speaking confidently. All right, let us go back to Jim for another quick vocabulary check.
Absolutely, Dave. Here are some more words to remember. Courage. The strength to face something difficult or challenging, like speaking a new language. Goal. The thing you want to achieve. For us, the goal is communicating in English. Perfect. To be without mistakes or errors. In language, perfection is not the goal. Communication is. These words can help you understand how to overcome the fear of speaking. Now back to you, Dave.
Great job, Jim. Now let us talk about ways to make practicing English fun. Sophia, what do you suggest?
Oh, well, one of my favorite ways is to learn through songs or movies. Listen to a simple English song, try to understand the lyrics, and sing along. It is a fun way to practice pronunciation.
Right. And you can also watch your favorite movies or TV shows in English with subtitles. Start with the subtitles in your native language and then try switching to English subtitles. It helps you connect words with their pronunciation and context, making it easier to remember.
Oh, that's true. Another idea is to play language games. There are apps and games designed for English learners that make it fun to practice vocabulary and speaking. You can even try role-playing, pretend you are ordering food in a restaurant or introducing yourself at a party. It makes practicing feel less like studying and more like real life.
Oh, and here is a fun one. Storytelling. Pick a picture or a scene and make up a story about it in English. You can be creative and use whatever words you know. It helps you think in English and get comfortable forming sentences.
Oh, definitely. I love storytelling. You have to try it.
All right, Jim. Another useful vocabulary check before we wrap up. What have we got?
Absolutely. Here are some more words to remember. Pronunciation. The way you say words. Practicing pronunciation helps others understand you. Subtitles. The words that appear on the screen in movies or TV shows to show what people are saying. Role-playing. Pretending to be in a situation, like ordering food or meeting someone. Storytelling. Creating and telling a story, which helps you practice forming sentences and using new words. These words should be helpful as you explore fun ways to practice English. Back to you, Dave.
Thank you, Jim. And thank you, Sophia, for sharing all these fantastic tips. We hope today's episode has inspired you to feel more confident about speaking English, even if it feels challenging at first.
Yes, and remember, speaking a language is a skill that gets easier the more you do it. So take small steps, have fun with it, and do not be afraid to make mistakes. Every word you speak brings you closer to fluency.
Absolutely. And do not forget that even native speakers make mistakes. The goal is communication, not perfection. So go out there and start practicing.
That is right. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends about the podcast, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions or topics you would like us to cover in future episodes. Thank you for joining us, and happy learning.
Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you in the next episode.